Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. The best way is if you became a millionaire, would you keep working? You know? I want to tell you guys something. What's going on right now is California's trying to figure out about crypto. My name is Ben. We're talking balls.
Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, home of the BitSquad, the largest, the greatest crypto community in all of the interwebs, now broadcasting on YouTube. No channel's working harder to keep you in the know when it comes to crypto. Today is Friday. Hey, smash the like button if you like The Weeknd. Me, personally, I like The Weeknd. I think he has some good hits. He had more hits back in the day. Me and TJ saw him live. But
yeah,
smash the like button if you like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. TJ, where do you land on Friday is The Weeknd?
What do you mean? Like Friday is the beginning of the weekend?
Yes. Do you consider Friday the weekend?
Yeah, 100%.
Me too. Me too. Those 2-day weekend people, get out of here.
No, we're everyday weekend kind of people. I mean, when you get to wake up, talk about crypto, get on social media, and that's your job. I mean, every day's the weekend. Look, I got my weekend shirt on. I brought in breakfast sandwiches today. Justin and I tend to run into each other on the donut shop on Fridays. It's happened 2 weeks in a row now.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I heard I missed out on the bacon donuts, but that's okay. On the weekend note, I ate so many croissants I couldn't feel my face. I think that was just the diabetic coma taking over my body there. People are wondering, where's Ben? Has he slayed a bear? Ben, announcement, he will be back on Monday. So we're going to be back to BitBoy as per usual. Looking forward to it. We're all he's coming back with 2 weeks of charged batteries.
Yeah.
I don't know if people are going to handle this next rant, man. He might break the interwebs.
He's ready. He's ready to get back into crypto. I'm sure he's missing the BitSquad, missing his people, missing all the action in crypto. I mean, it's got to feel like the world moves in slow motion if you're in the middle of the woods after being in 24/7 crypto.
I mean, I hopefully he'll pause on opening the TikTok app because it'll take weeks to get his attention span down and just kind of calm down and unfray the nerves, and then you open an app and it's like 30 seconds later your electrodes are already fried. But all right, let's get into the show here. Hey, we just crossed into the 20.3k subs, so I appreciate that, you guys jumping in, showing some support. We love it. Make sure you follow NFT Alpha and all the sister channels, Meta Money, Frankie Candles, and DZBTC is where you can follow me, DZ_BTC. We got most of the fakes banned on Twitter, but not so much on Instagram. I just put out a little query. Should I swap my ETH for ADA? I'm thinking about it, but I did do a buy today, TJ.
What'd you buy?
I finally got in near Protocol.
Oh,
I got
nice.
it on Coinbase. Is something that's been on my radar for a while. Just bought a little bit, just a little DCA strategy. I'm not saying that's the bottom. It's looking kind of the prices. I think it's up about 33% from its local low. So you know what? If it goes down that little bit, I'll scoop some more. If not, I'll probably be scooping a different coin. All is going to be well once we zoom out long enough. Near is something I feel positive about. I've been talking about it, kind of recommending people that's something that's on my radar. So I want to put my money where my mouth is. So I got in on that. All right, JPEG Junkie. Speaking of putting your money where your mouth is, no, not like a pipe that you filled with things. No, we're talking the hottest Cardano drop happening. We just put this out. We are going to be at CNFTCon. You can catch us out there. So make sure. Oh, there it goes. Refreshing.
Hey.
We're going to be dancing on the dance floor out there. This is going to be DZ at CNFTCon. So you're going to want to be there. Maybe we'll be giving out some dope merch. I don't know. I'm not saying we're giving out golden chalices, but maybe some hoodies, t-shirts, probably stickers galore. So look out for me at CNFTCon. Show your support for JPEG Junkies. All right. Want to show off the book yet again, Catching Up to Crypto, getting closer and closer to its release. Do you happen to know the release date tentatively?
I don't off the top of my head. I think it's in a couple weeks. So
Yeah,
these are
weeks.
I know it's in pre-order right now. It's been doing really well on pre-order. Just check it out when you get a chance.
Yeah, check it out. And the more people pre-order, more likely we're going to rocket to the top of the New York Times best-selling list. Can you imagine how awesome that would be?
Yeah.
New York Times, they kind of have a wishy-washy approach to crypto, but once we climb that chart, they can't deny it. Although they do tweak the algorithm. They basically choose who they want on the best-selling list.
Yeah.
Figured that out over the past couple of years due to I'm not going to name the doctor, but it was a doctor's book released over the past couple of years. You can kind of do the math there. And it was like the #1 sold book, but it wasn't anywhere on the New York Times top 10 best list. And that's when I realized, I did a little research. The whole thing's a scam. The whole New York Times bestseller list is a scam. They kind of tweak the algorithm, and they basically, whatever they want to be up front, if kind of got some figures to justify it, they'll make that happen. And then they'll suppress other books. So it's
Yeah.
real
Well,
interesting. I thought it was just by sales data.
yeah.
Call me naive.
Well, I saw a really good tweet the other day. It was talking about, when you're first learning about Bitcoin, everyone's like, Bitcoin is a scam. Then you learn about Bitcoin and you realize, no, everything else is a scam. So just add the New York bestseller to that list.
Yeah, that is actually a good point. Yeah, you first learn about crypto, it's a scam. You dive into the ethos of blockchain technology, and yeah, I don't think it's an understatement. No, everything else is a scam.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
everything else. The whole thing's a facade. It's a house of cards. It's a story we tell ourselves. But you know what? So is Bitcoin. So what can we really say here? All right, let's get into the crypto market cap. What is it looking like as we head into the weekend? We have the market cap at $964 billion. Still holding support.
I've got 959 right here.
Ooh, oh no, oh no. You know what that was? That was people. That was you not hitting the like button,
Yeah.
folks. If you hit the like button, the number would go the other way. You want your bags to be green, not red. The way you make that happen is you hit that little thumbs up. It doesn't cost you anything. Do it right now. We'll take a moment of silence. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. All right, if we look at the 24-hour volume, looking pretty good. 64 billion. Dominance still below 40. 39.4 ETH. Tumbling further and further away from 20%, now all the way down to 18.5. Gas at 17, so still fairly affordable right now. Not if you ask a Cardano or a Solana at Maxi, but fairly affordable for ETH terms. We have Bitcoin down slightly, a little less than 1%. ETH down a little bit more, down 3% so far, 16.5% on the week. We keep scrolling down. XRP had a nice little blast off here, up 1.5, contrary to the downward market. Solana, Cardano down around 2% a piece here. Polkadot, Polygon, Matic, all basically down 1 or 2%. We go down a little bit more. ETH Classic down, jumped up 9.3% in the negative there. Those people taking those profits.
Oh, you skipped Cosmos. I was
your
waiting for you to
favorite.
get to Cosmos.
Man, you were you know what? You were recommending Adam. You're saying Adam's on my list of coins, and look at that pump, up 9%. So
I love me
TJ,
some Cosmos. Adam, been a big fan for a long time, and it's always interesting. Doesn't necessarily mean anything. Don't read into it too much. But in a bear market, things that run counter to the market on specific days can be echoes of whale moves and things like that. So just something to keep an eye on for sure. Anytime I see. A lot of times we saw BNB doing this in the previous market, not saying Cosmos could have a run like that, but it just gets my attention.
It's the big money coming in, buying things on a sale. You know what? I did stop scrolling too soon because you see what the next big thing in the green is. Look at Chainlink, one of DZ's favorite coins. So yeah, one of my faves, one of your faves, running contrary to the market. My expectation is this is whales looking for passive income.
Yeah.
Chainlink's going to be opening up staking soon.
Look at that. So what did we tell you? We said Cosmos and Chainlink are what we like to buy. I guess we're the whales, pushing the market. Look, what we bought is up, guys. I guess we're the whales moving it.
And you know what? I actually did look at this when I was buying my Near. Open up my Coinbase. This is where I got my fiat on ramp and off ramp. I don't think it was up that much. I did see it in the green, but Near, I saw an opportunity. I bought it. If it goes up tomorrow, I'm not saying it was me. I'm not saying it wasn't me. Okay, just a little alpha for the people there.
Yeah,
trying to give some people some, get some gains in this red market. All right, let's look at the top gainers and the top losers. God, we're gonna skip the first one, but Quant looking good. Adam, Link, look at that. We're top 4 coins here. Shout out to Iran.
Chili's
doing okay. I actually want to look at the all-time chart of the year chart. Just a throwback for Iran. We still love Iran.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's solid. I mean, it's still a good project. I mean, it obviously was riding a lot of that NFT hype. Look at that. Comes straight out of the gate right up to the top.
Woo! But blast off there.
They've had some good, solid partnerships. I wouldn't write that one off just yet. Speaking of Mr. Iran Shamiz, I was talking to him just the other day on Instagram. He's out diving, doing a lot of scuba stuff in Mexico, I believe.
That's the most Iran thing, period. The Mexico is like the icing on the top there.
Yeah, he's out on a boat living his best life. Gotta love it.
Yeah, getting tan and showing people, do you see this seashell I just got? All right, we love Iran.
He turned his footage into an NFT.
Yeah. We miss him. All right, we look at the top losers. Celsius way down, Ravencoin way down, ETH Classic way down. So people essentially just kind of pulling those profits. Apecoin way down. Me, I smell opportunity here. I am biased. I do hold a mutant ape, so maybe and I loved Ape Fest. And I can't wait to go next year. So don't look at me with a non-biased opinion of ApeCoin, but I see a little opportunity. But speaking of opportunities, it is a red day, but there's still ways to make money. The candle mafia, they're making money when it's going up. They're making money when it's going down. When it trades sideways, they up their leverage. I'm kidding, Frank. I'm kidding. Come on up here.
What is going on, everybody? And shout out to Eron. I miss you, brother. But I hope you guys are having a great day. We have a lot of stuff to look at on the charts. Some stuff not so good. As you guys know, if you watch the stream, there were some bullish signals popping up on those higher time frames, but it is looking like some of those are starting to get stepped on by some more bearish signals. So if I had to lean one way or the other today, I would be leaning a little bit bearish. And I'm going to go ahead and let's dive into the chart so I can kind of point some of these things out for you. Obviously, ETH merge did wind up being somewhat of a nothing burger. TJ was talking about how saw a tweet that said, if I hear the word nothing burger one more time, I'm going to go crazy. And I was like, you know what? I never use that word. And in the past 2 days, I've used it like 75 times. So definitely a hilarious tweet. But yeah, ETH merge wound up turned out to be, basically sell the news event. So not too far off of what we were expecting the other day when I was hosting the morning show with TJ. But we're going to start on Bitcoin, and then we'll go take a look at Ethereum. So right now on Bitcoin, as you guys know, we were looking at this red dot on the daily, pointing us, basically towards some lower prices, which we did wind up getting just a little bit. Now, we are coming up to some important levels, so I do want to cover that. However, if we come up to these higher time frames, guys, some of these bullish signals we've been looking at have been this green dot on the weekly, which is still intact at the moment. And then we did have a green dot printing on the 6-day, immediately swallowed up by a red dot, and not only a red dot, but a yellow X is now printing on the 6-day. This is a very rare bearish sign on such a high time frame like the 6-day. Your 5-day green dot is still printing, still intact. But if we come to the 4-day, you can see the 4-day green dot was swallowed up by a red dot and a yellow X as well. So I would probably expect this, the green dot being invalidated by the red dot to roll over into the 5-day as well. So it does look like these are starting to get stepped on with these red dots. So it is making me feel a little bit more bearish, especially with your 6-day yellow X and your 4-day yellow X printing. Definitely a little more bearish. Moving on down to your 3-day, you are printing a red dot as well. Your 2-day yellow dot, red dot confirmed as well. So this is definitely more bearish. Your daily, nothing goes down in a straight line, right? So your daily VWAP is starting to round off, kind of showing that we could get some form of a short-term bounce. But let's continue down these time frames. Your 5-hour money flow generally coming out. It's kind of hard to see there, but it is generally coming out. That's more bearish. Your 4-hour as well. Money flow generally coming to the downside, and your VWAP is looking to print a red dot, it looks like, here very, very soon. So just tons and tons of, things pointing towards, just continues to point towards the downside. Money flow coming out, red dots all over the place, yellow X's all over. And we're going to take a look at ETH, not looking much better. But, generally leaning bearish on Bitcoin as of right now in the short to medium term. Now, some levels I would be watching. As you guys can see, we are at this point of control. You could see that represented by this giant high volume node. You could see that price likes to stick to these high volume nodes. You see a spike in volume, and I like to bring this up often just for people who are new, or the more you hear something, the more likely it is to stick. You see a little high volume node here, price decides to stick around, right? Then you have this little gap, price falls right through the gap and lands right on this other high volume node, and price decides to stick right here. This is typically why I like volume profiles so much, because you could kind of assume where price will move through quickly and where price is likely to stick. And this point of control is a big area of interest, but we are below it, right? We've broken below, bearishly retested, and now we are starting to, or we continue to come down. Now, the next likely stop for Bitcoin, in my opinion, if we continue to the downside, would, just because we're below this point of control, showing the bears are in control here right now, I would be expecting a trip down, shown by this this arrow. I would expect a move down to the range lows here at the value area low, and that is coming in at 18,825. So I am expecting to eventually get down here because we're below that point of control. So it's likely that we will stop there. But we do have this weekly level coming in at about 19,288, which we could potentially get hung up on just a little bit. So you do have a stop there on the way, but just as long as we remain under this point of control and things on Market Cipher B continue to remain bearish, I will eventually be expecting to come down to this value area low at 18,825. So not the best news ever, some pretty bearish stuff here. However, oh no, I think, uh-oh, the mouse died. The mouse died. Oh no, there we go. It's back. Okay. So definitely leaning more bearish on Bitcoin, just because of those, those higher time frame bullish signals are starting to get stepped on, and Ethereum as well is starting to show some pretty bearish signs here. I do want to come all the way up, looking at these higher time frames. This is, I hate the days where, you have the excitement of the Ethereum merge, and now we're just talking about all this bearish stuff. But I do want to move down here on the higher time frames. You're printing a red dot on your 6-day, definitely more bearish. Now, this is where the real bearish stuff starts to come in. 5-day blood diamond. This is a pretty high time frame, and if this blood diamond confirms, it would be a very bearish sign. So kind of similar on these higher time frames. You also have a 4-day blood diamond. So Bitcoin's got the yellow X's, Ethereum's got the blood diamonds, definitely leaning a little bit more bearish here. The bullish case would be that your money flow is coming up, but you could potentially get rejected at that zero line. So if that blood diamond confirms, I would expect this red money flow wave to come back down into a deeper red wave. So definitely leaning bearish there. Your 3-day, no yellow X, but you are getting a short signal on Market Cipher A, as well as a confirmed red dot. Now, moving into some of the lower time frames, I want to give you guys some levels to look at, as well as mention that money flow on the 8 hours coming out, just generally coming out on these lower to medium time frames. Money flow just coming straight out. 5-hour as well. Your 4-hour has crossed over into the red. That's a much more bearish sign than a bullish sign, obviously. And it does look like your VWAP is about to roll over here. So let's get right into the levels, because I want to give you guys the key levels to be watching. Now, obviously, for Ethereum, we are sitting right below this value area low. Now, a lot of times with the value areas, if you come below the value area low, it's a lot of times likely that you get sucked back into this range between the value area low and the value area high. However, with all these bearish signals on the higher time frames, I do think we can continue lower potentially. And two major levels that I am looking at, if you guys watched the stream yesterday with Tom Crown, we are actually looking at very similar levels, but those major levels are going to be right here. Now, this is a less significant level. However, we have found some resistance at this level as well as support. So that level is coming in at 1354. I would expect some sort of a reaction off this level, but if we lose that level, I do think it would be a quick move all the way down to about 1250. And the reason I'm saying quick move is because if you come over to the left, you can see these big volume gaps, right?
Can you collapse down that other menu?
Yeah,
it pulls it over.
Yeah,
there you go.
Boom. Yeah. So, and as you guys can see, we've talked about this. We've talked about this in the past by these drawings. But if we lose this level, you can see this big gap in volume. When you enter these low volume gaps, it is likely that you see price. Let me actually try to squeeze this in a little bit so you guys can see a little better. Boom, there you go. So the volume gap I'm talking about is right here. So if you lose this level that we're at right now, you would likely quickly fall through that level and land on that 1354 area. And then if we break that level, you can see another decent volume gap here as well. And if we break that level, it would likely be a quick move down to that 1250 area. So those are some of the levels I'm looking at. And then that 1250 area, we do have some significant support there. You can see we found resistance here pretty heavily twice or 3 times before breaking above it. And you have this massive high volume node down here that should act as very strong support. So there's some levels definitely leaning bearish in general here, guys. And those are the key levels I'm watching. And
I mean, and then if 1250 breaks, you're pretty much looking to retest 1,000 or 980 or whatever where we kind of wicked down previously.
Yeah. Now, again, there is really strong support there, but yeah, if we break those levels and we come back down into this range, it is likely that we could just fall right back into this range between about 1250 and about 1,000. Yeah. So. Definitely agree with that. And before I let you guys go, I do just want to point out real quick the SPY. We were talking about this, I think, last night or maybe the day before on my stream. I think it was last night. Really was looking to hold this level of support at about 390. This was very strong support. I was telling everybody, like, I mean, we're holding it right now. I really hope it holds. And we are definitely breaking this level now. Wasn't very happy to see this happening. So. Next major levels, we are coming up to a little bit of a level of support here where we're at currently, but next major level would be about 375. That would be another big area of interest that I would be keeping an eye on. And yeah, it's definitely feeling a little bit bearish there, guys, especially with the SPY as well. I don't know if anybody checked out the FedEx chart, but the FedEx chart got completely nuked.
Yeah, I was going to mention that it's down 22, almost 23% right now on the day for a stock, which that's crypto volatility right there. So.
Yeah, absolutely insane. I'm not going to spend time on this, but TJ, if you want to pull that screen up just to show this mega 4-hour candle, guys, that's not a typical stock market candle. Usually that's a crypto candle, right? Yeah, that's a play to earn that. Yeah, that's not a good look. Definitely getting nuked here. So feeling a little bit, definitely leaning a little bit bearish, guys. Those bearish signs are starting to creep in. But just remember, just because I came up here and showed you guys all these bearish signals, if you guys want to see some more in-depth analysis, maybe some shorter term stuff as well, check out my channel, Frankie Candles. This is not me saying there's bearish signals. Short the heck out of this thing right now. Remember, we've come down a lot. Nothing goes down in a straight line. Short-term bounces are going to be likely, but definitely leaning bearish for those higher time frames. So I think that's all I got. Come check me out at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right after this guy on ATB. That's all I got. Back to DZ. Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Team USPS, baby. And UPS. And what's that other one that's like international? It's like red and yellow or something.
DHL.
Yeah, DHL, baby. No, FedEx thing. That is interesting. My guess is they lost some sort of contract with some sort of e-retailer. I don't know. I have to look into that. That is not good. Not bueno at all for those in those traditional boring stocks there. We might go ahead, adjust the camera a little bit. Oh, is it Twitter Buzz time? All right. I do like me some Twitter Buzz. One of my favorite segments of the week here. All right. And Frankie's the Energizer Bunny, they said. All right. What do we got? Breaking. I do like unusual whales. I commented on a comment on this, actually. Senate Democrats are reportedly delaying a vote on legislation to ban members of Congress from trading stocks until after the midterms. Yeah, I saw a article, actually. I replied to an article that said, progressives are angry that it got stopped in the Senate. Well, it was actually Democrats blocked it, unfortunately. Here's the thing. It's not going to happen this session, more than likely. They're going to wait till after the midterms. Why? Here's my theory, and I'm not saying this is backed by anything. I think they want to dump their stocks. I think there's some stocks they want to get out of and probably some stocks they want to get into. And that is my guess. Crypto Savvy in the chat. Actually, my favorite bear. Good lucks. I tried warning you all of this on December 2nd, 21. Well, to be fair, Savvy, we do love you. You've called 7 of the last 3 crashes, is what they like to say. But no, Savvy, look, people don't like bearish news. People don't like bearish targets. Savvy gives you the business. Savvy says, I think it's 3K. Here's my thesis. Here's what I have supporting it. And people dogpile them with no facts, no counter argument. They just say, no, price go up, you're wrong. And but he brings receipts, and he's the creator of the Bitcoin Amazon overlay chart. So shout out to Savvy. We love having you on here, man. So yeah, he's been on ATB too. He's a good guy. But man, he brings that bearish comments. All right, just in, U.S. Justice Department set to launch a unit focused on crypto crime. Wall Street Journal reports. Breaking, CIA's had a division for a long time. FBI has a division for a long time. This is nothing new, but now they're going to be a little more open about it, so they get these blank checks. Agreed. So, hey, don't do anything shady out there, folks. After the bear market, there will be a lot of 100x crypto projects. Your job is to stick around and identify them. Unfortunately, I didn't memorize all those words.
Sorry.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm showing you how to do. And, of course, I will keep sharing my lists throughout the bear market. I'm not leaving. We're not leaving either. We're not going anywhere. You know what? I'm not saying Near's going to do 100x, but that's one of my bets that I think is possible to do 100x. I'm more like happy with the 50x. I know crypto's ruined me. I'm happy with a 50x. You should shut up and be happy with a 2x, of course. But yeah, Near's one of mine. Adam, I think, is going to have some serious price action. So yeah, I mean, we're out here making the moves. I'm going to hedge my bets with a lot of strong L1s and L2s. This is my thesis to find that next 20x. Kind of basing that off of the last cycle. We saw it with BNB. We saw it with Solana. We saw it with Cardano. We saw 100x's across the board with those. And so I'm saying L1, L2s, that's going to be a strong narrative for the near future.
Sure. I agree. And this is what we tell people all the time, like, not to get discouraged in this bear market. I saw all the comments when Frankie was going over the TA and was like, man, this sucks. It's just going straight down, straight down. It is going down, but and like Savvy is saying, like, these are opportunities, like you were just saying, like that tweet just said, look for good, solid projects right now. There are still 20, 30, 40, 50, 100x opportunities within this space, and there's going to be a lot of them over the coming years. So
all right, Bitfrog says Bitcoin will 100x. Thoughts?
Oof. On what time frame? You go out far enough, maybe. Are we in the year 2100? Maybe, but I don't see a 100x necessarily for Bitcoin. You could still 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, maybe.
I don't even see it 2xing from 69. I see like a 1.5x. I'm kind of basing that off of from the previous high to the next high. It kind of shrinks in half every time, and last time it was a slightly more than 3.5x. So now I'm leaning towards like a 1.75x.
See, I hold strong that we're going to see more returns on Bitcoin this next cycle than we did the last cycle. Like, I know we've seen diminished returns, and really the only thing I have to back this up is the fact that I think we're going to get regulatory approval and some institutional money runs in, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a 10x even to go from 20K to 200K in this next cycle.
Mr. Techno Goody, your comment is hidden, but it was seen. It was kind of funny.
I'll show it. Boom.
Hey, you got to be in the chat to see all these cool comments. All right, let's get into talking about some Bitcoin and some Bitcoin futures as well. Over $320 million in Bitcoin and crypto liquidated in just 24 hours, with ETH the most impacted. I'm just going to go backwards just real quick, and we can kind of look at the 24-hour volume on that to see if that had any kind of movement to do with that. And then this is the story. You might say, well, Bitcoin is a higher market cap. How come there's more liquidations on ETH? High leverage, people getting wrecked there. So ETH had about a 5x change in price. So that led to, not 5x liquidations, but, kind of correlates there. New data from CoinGlass shows that $288 million worth of digital assets have been liquidated in the past day as we experience increased volatility in the wake of the merge update. The world's leading smart contract platform, or ETH, sustained $169 million worth of losses, or more than 4 times the $38 million in value that Bitcoin lost. So I said about a 5x. It ended up being about a 4x there. So pretty much on the mark there. As the time of writing, ETH is trading for $14.71, a little bit different than that. Down at one point, down almost 10% in the last 24 hours. Bitcoin was changing at one point, down almost 3% in the last 24 hours there. So tons of liquidations there. Just be careful. Tight stop losses. Lower that leverage. If you're getting liquidated, have you been liquidated double-digit times in the past whatever time frame? I would say a year. Yeah. Although a lot of people are going to say, oh, that's way too long. I've been liquidated 100 times in the past year. But if your liquidations are double digits in the last month, for sure, Jesus, lower that slippage, lower that weverage.
Yeah.
Just lower that risk tolerance. Just lower that expectation. Just lower it across the board. We're joking. Be happy with the 2x. Be happy with the 20% gain. You don't have to chase a moon pump every single time, folks. It's okay. Trust me, I've cut my hand plenty of times catching falling knives. Yeah. Still have the scar. That's a fallen knife. Me trying to catch it.
2 to 10x should be plenty for almost everybody.
Yeah, for sure. But crypto breeds impatience.
Yeah. We got to go 25x.
Yeah, you get a 20x and you're like, kind of like Benjamin Council. 20x feels good, but what would a 25x?
Yeah, exactly.
Feel like? What would a 30x feel like? All right, Bitcoin price threatens 19,600 as Ray Dalio predicts 30% stocks crash. The aftermath of the merge gives no respite to crypto bulls who face continued pressure as stocks also trend down. Attempted to violate local lows on the 16th as the latest cross crypto downtrend intensified. Strong language here. I like that. They just try to violate. Bitcoin attempted to violate them lows. Did not succeed. Warning that the situation does not look good. Popular account Crypto Bullet demanded a reclaim of the 100-period moving average to flip bullish on the 4-hour chart there. Here you can see it holding a 6.18 fib or 0.618 fib like a champ. To be bullish, we need to reclaim that moving average of 100 there. I think you can see it here. It's that little dotted line. We zoom in a little. We are below it. We need to get above it there. Now, this doesn't look good. Same condition to reclaim the moving average 100, and then he'll be bullish. So we reclaim that, turn it into support. That's when he turns bullish. Here's a good example of hitting the 100-day moving average, or I think it's the 104-hour candle moving average, hitting it, bouncing off of it, and then there's some good pumps to be made. Here it goes, going below it, rejecting off of it, and then just a nice crash down. So this is us going above it, shooting past it. So, you know, it's a careful area to trade around, and then again, just kind of preaching tight stop losses if you're trying to trade it. In his latest blog, published on the 13th, Dalio predicted the combined damage to stocks would cost them 30% of their current valuation. The Fed Reserve is tipped to enact a further 75 basis point hike at next week's meeting at the FOMC, with some market participants even expecting 100 basis points. Now, is this the current target? Is this the probabilities? Yeah, now up to 1/4. So about a fourth of people expecting 100 basis points. We've seen it creep up. It was 12, then it was 18, and now it's 24. Be careful if that starts to creep into the 30s. That's when, you know, you got to take it as a serious possibility. Right now, I'm still leaning pretty strong towards 75.
I'm a little bit on the outlier. I'm leaning a little bit towards the one. I'd be in that 25% just because I think, you know, it's going to be pain either way. Might as well make it a little more. It's going to have more effect if they do the one, and it shows that they're willing to let things crash further. And maybe if they can get past this, do the one, they don't have to do it in November. But if they do a 0.75, I think they're going to have to come back again. So we'll see.
Yeah. People are debating loss management and talking about cross leverage. Yeah, they'll start going into your entire account.
Yeah.
But you could also, you know, plan around that. You don't have your entire crypto account. You have your entire trading account. And it's, again, low leverage if you're doing that. Shout out to CryptoVet in the chat. All right. A new Bitcoin futures ETF signals a possible step forward in U.S. regulation. The Hashdex Bitcoin Futures ETF is slated to list tomorrow on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker, love that ticker, DeFi, after getting the green light from the SEC. Though the product itself isn't novel, multiple future ETFs have reached the market. Its wrapper is, unlike other ETFs, it received approval under the Securities Act of 1933, which could possibly be used to get SEC approval for the physical Bitcoin ETF. So this is, you know, not a new product, but a new form of regulation approved this, and this is now using some of the Security Act's language. So that is a bullish indicator for a physical Bitcoin ETF. That's where they actually, your ETF equals real exposure to Bitcoin,
Right.
where you can, the buys and sells will actually have real movement on the market makers here. And
Correct.
So you don't have a bunch of people trading paper.
So that's what we've seen a lot so far in the Bitcoin futures products that exist, is actually just paper saying, they're contracts of saying, betting on what the price will be. When we're talking about physical Bitcoin, or what you also hear them call a spot Bitcoin ETF, that's when the Bitcoin is actually being purchased, and it does have more effects on the market.
50x if you know what you're doing. No, maniacs out here. All right, the SEC has appeared to be reluctant to approve crypto products under the 33 Act until now. Gensler said he'd be interested in approving Bitcoin future products under the Investment Company Act of 1940, a path that effectively closed off approval to spot-based products. The long road has led it down a list in a down market. ProShares BITO has slumped 70% since going public in October, echoing a wider market fallout. You see the little hype of the October launch. Then you see that early November price pump. And then, yeah, we've been bleeding since 69K. So, I mean, this is probably right around 69K. And, I mean, this is just kind of mirroring the Bitcoin chart. So it's not too much to read into that about the price going down here. All right. a record number of small Bitcoin holders hits a record high as sideline investors buy the dip. So this is going to be us, essentially. I know there's some whales watching, but this is me. This is you. This is the keyboard warriors. This is the basement chat. We are the small Bitcoin holders. The price correction appears to offer investors an opportunity to accumulate more. Indeed, as of the 16th, the number of Bitcoin addresses holding at least 0.01 has hit a new all-time high of 10.7 million.
Nice.
This is from Glassnode. So for math reference, where are we at right now in the price? 1%, yeah, it's $196. So yeah, you can get in fairly affordable there. So it's not super, super expensive. All right, let's see. We get jump back to it here. I love some Glassnode. We're going to show you some more Glassnode next week. Don't worry here. Yeah, you see it, just nice spike upward. Here's another little Glassnode chart. Number of new addresses, the 7-day moving average. So yeah, this is new addresses coming into the market. There we go. FOMO setting in. Overall, the market is likely waiting for a potential bottom, with recent data indicating that buying interest, unfortunately, is fading. Finbold reported on the 14th that investor interest in buying Bitcoin has remained low in comparison to when the value of the asset was rising. Retail, Google Trends, all that, they want to come in at the top. They don't want to come in when they buy this cheap corn. We are the ones buying the cheap corn. We are the ones that get to reap our harvest. And I'm looking forward to it here. All right. U.S. stocks slide as rate path fuels growth fears. Markets wrap. U.S. stocks extended their slump this week, and the dollar continued its ascent, reflecting growing concern outside Federal Reserve interest rate hikes will crimp economic growth. Policy-sensitive 2-year Treasury yields extended a rise to the highest since 2007. What happened in 2008? A whole lot of bad stuff. Deepening the curve inversion that's seen as a recession signal. Oil was poised to fall for a third week amid the deteriorating global economic backdrop, which has fueled demand concerns at a time when the buoyant dollar makes crude more expensive for most buyers. Dollar gains strength, things get more expensive. It's great if you're traveling the world and trying to spend your dollar in Great Britain, South Africa, or something. But yeah, it's gonna end up hurting some things as oil goes up and whatnot. ETH staking rewards jump from 3.25 to 3.7. Not as much as expected, but not bad. Okay, staking's up. 3.7 is a healthy number. I mean, I know you guys would be happy with 3.7 with your ETH.
3% isn't bad. I mean, I think a lot of people, I don't know where the expectation of 6-7% came. 2, 3, 4. It's all in the right range to me.
Yeah, have you seen the thing where it's like 3 stakers control about half of the staking market? It's Coinbase, Lido, and then like a 0x. I don't know.
Yeah, and then Binance. Yeah, I mean I have seen that a lot. There's a lot of buzz around that, and I'm not sure. I mean, we knew all that. We had covered that on this show before the merge as well, like who had the most staked Ethereum.
What are your thoughts on that?
It's not a surprise to me one bit. Like I said, okay, a big DeFi product that allowed people to take their previous ETH, put it into ETH2, and have it interchangeable. That'd be like basically a front runner of a curve or a
lot of people in the market, they're down on it because only 3 people controlling 50% of ETH staking. Well, in some ways yes, but in some ways no. It's the people on Coinbase staking through Coinbase, the people staking through Lido, the vast majority of them don't have 32 ETH.
Well,
and so you have to weigh the option. It's like, well, we could take that away, and now those people don't have an avenue.
Exactly.
And so that's just going to lead to, a centralized entity. It's just,
I guess my question would be, who would you expect to be the people with the most staked Ethereum? It's going to be,
in a perfect world, there's 500 options and they're all equal and no one has a big thing. But, this is free market capitalism at its best, and Coinbase has a easy to use app. It's easy to link up to my bank. It's going to have a lot of ease of use features that these smaller delegators don't have. And so it just seems unfair that we're dogpiling on this when it's really the people who don't have 32 ETH taking part in this.
Well, and I wouldn't say it's unfair because it's definitely part of the conversation. What I would say is it's a process. I mean, it's no different. It's no different than people being upset that a handful of entities have most of the hash power on Bitcoin. Yes, we want it to be more decentralized. We want hash power spread out. We want more people participating in the network. Same with Ethereum, same with Cardano, same with any proof of stake network. The more people running nodes, the more decentralized it can be, the more robust it can be, the more secure it is to attack and a lot of different things.
And
So
it turns into like, where do you draw the line? It's like, well, you want to bust up F2 pool because it's too big, but what about the small one with you and your buddies? Like, do you not bust that one up, or you do bust that one up? Like, where do you draw the line? Is there a percentage? What is that percentage? Now we're, trying to, now we're trying to regulate it.
right. I mean, it basically, here's because the people say, oh, it's government money. It's just as good as centralized fiat. Well, it's still way better than centralized fiat, in my opinion. It's still way better than a lot of other options out there. There are options. If you like Bitcoin to store your value, use Bitcoin to store your value. If you like Ethereum for DeFi and interacting with other parts of a Web3 ecosystem, use it that way. That's why it exists. That's why there's market options. And the market will ultimately pick winners and things will settle out over time. So I wouldn't get as hyper focused on the today, right here, right now. And I would say a lot of the higher level individuals that are criticizing this are saying it will be realized over the next 10 or 15 years. And that's something I can listen to. But putting it in a vacuum as it stands today, to me, just means you don't really know that much about what you're talking
Well,
about.
someone's saying you don't need 32 Bitcoin to run a node. Well, we're kind of talking about a proof of stake and a proof
32
of work, so it's a little bit different. You need 32 ETH worth of equipment to, hang with the big boys. So, I mean, actually, you need way more than that.
Well, I mean, I would equate.
32
I mean, the
Bitcoin
32 ETH thing, I would equate to like a staking pool is no different to a mining pool, in my opinion. You're not going to be solving
Yes.
blocks with your own personal computer. You have to join a mining pool and combine your hash power, just like you have to join a staking pool and combine your stake. So it's
Yeah, I guess my thesis is like, don't attack F2 pool, don't attack Lido without attacking all pools. Otherwise you're just kind of being intellectually dishonest.
I
And
agree.
I think pools, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad. It's a conversation that needs to be had. All right, let's I just want to go off on a tangent.
Yeah, no,
there.
it
I
was
was just
good.
kinda
I love
wondering
this
your
conversation.
take.
It's a necessary evil, and to me, it's moving us forward, and that's what we
Yeah.
should be focused on. We're making progress to a more decentralized world in some ways, and we're gonna have different products that are pushing us in that direction. Some will work, and some won't, and that's what we're trying to figure
And
out.
if you want true decentralization, I mean, check out Cardano. I know I'm biased,
Yeah.
but their staking platform is fantastic. The whole UI UX experience with staking on Cardano is 10 out of 10. All right, British pound at its lowest level against the US dollar since 1985. Rest in peace. Great Britain's pound plunged to its lowest level since 1985 as they fled British assets in the face of a gloomy economic outlook. The escalating inflation currently at the highest level among all of the G7 nations, the impending recession, and concerns about tax cuts have been the driving factors pushing the sterling down the slope, as experts now believe that an increase in spending under a new administration would worsen pricing pressures. Yeah, if you're going to increase spending, it makes sense to not decrease your tax there. I'm not like a pro tax guy, but I do like to operate things in not the negative. Call me a crazy. I don't think running up a deficit's a good thing. I don't know. I know I'm a maniac that way. All right. The last time the value of the pound dropped to $1.14 was March 2020, and after the 2016 Brexit result, the level of 114 had not been seen since 1985 under Thatcher's government. This was, shortly before G7 countries passed the infamous Plaza Accord to control the super dollar of the Reagan era. So it's been a long, long time. I mean, we're almost at 40 years for that low there. And I mean, shoot, are we going to do a BitBoy meetup in England? I mean, shoot, a dollar goes a long way. I mean, it'll be
Hey.
a cheap trip compared to like New York or something.
We were talking about it at one point. We'll have to see. I don't know if they'll have enough fuel for the airplanes to get us there. But
Is Urkam Aaron? Is that Iran?
wait, where are you
Like fifth from the bottom on the YouTube chat. Chili's. I wonder.
Ekram Iran. Yeah,
It could be. It could be. Hey, man, shout out. Hey, man, how's that Toyota doing? I know you loved it. All right. Global inflation mounts how stablecoins are helping protect savings. Economies around the world are facing a motley of challenges caused by rising inflation. It devalues national currencies, which in turn pushes up the cost of living, especially in scenarios where earnings remain unchanged. Think of a pension fund. Think of someone just collecting a social security check here. The counter-inflation approach has also strengthened the value of the dollar against other currencies due to tight dollar liquidity checks. As about 80% of all international trades are undertaken using the dollar, many countries are now paying a premium for imports to compensate for the rising value, worsening inflation in those importing countries. Remittance companies have indeed been taking notice and have in recent months made moves to claim a share of the stablecoin market. MoneyGram recently partnered with Stellar to offer stablecoin remittance services on its network. And stablecoins, ideal instruments against inflation. Interesting thought there for numerous reasons. One of them is their immutable and borderless nature. Oh, if you're not in America. Okay, okay, yeah. For other countries, yeah, I was going to say for America, it doesn't make any difference.
No, it's still inflating.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're bleeding against the dollar, heck yeah. This is why I always bring it up. Like, wait till the krone or some of these weird currencies. America isn't leading the world in inflation. There's other countries that have better inflation rates. So, I mean, you just check. I'm not a Forex expert, foreign exchange expert. I'm not going to claim to be. I'm not going to say, oh, this is the currency. But there's going to be a period where there's liquidity on some of these stable coins where you trade out of it. You're not losing a penny off every dollar. Once that happens, expect people to, I think smart money's going to start diversifying their stables where it's going to have maybe the euro. I mean, the euro's looking at, getting the sterling at a 40-year low. Is that like buying an altcoin? I mean, some way, yes. Is it going to have those outsized returns? No, but your stable coin gaining 4% against USDC, that's kind of good. And so I expect a lot of Forex trading to move onto the blockchain. And then it's going to be a whole nother groundswell of money. It's going to be a whole new gold rush in the crypto market. All right. Speaking of crypto market, White House has the first crypto regulatory framework. Here's what you need to know from Biden's executive order on digital assets. They published their first ever framework Friday, covering the key areas of the Biden administration wants to focus on. The move follows the executive order ensuring responsible development of digital assets, or ERDA. They could have done better than that.
This is something we were taught. Something I've mentioned a few times. The executive order that came out in March, and a lot of the reports have been doing, and a lot of action has been taken since then. So
yeah, so they got the 7 areas here, and we're just going to kind of read the titles. Protecting consumers and businesses. We've seen that get bastardized and kind of moved into an area where it just does the opposite of this, where it protects businesses against against what the consumer might want. So let's just try to remain optimistic here. All right, so they're going to protect consumers, businesses. That makes sense. Protecting access to financial services. Now, that seems weird. Now, how do you promoting access. All right, supporting development of use. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, they have a commercial to wear your seatbelt. They'll probably have a commercial for your CBDC. Fostering financial stability. All right, stable coins, saying the intertwining of digital assets and finance services have spillover effects. UST, okay, so they want use our stuff, not UST.
Right.
Okay, so that's going to quote unquote foster stability. Supporting innovation. Okay, I'm down for offices to give money to people trying to do something good in the space. What I'm not down for is them just giving money to their friends. Thanks for the $1 million. Now I'm buying Bitcoin miners and we're just going to mine Bitcoin and just get rich off of it. Hopefully something like that doesn't happen. Keeping the U.S. at the forefront of global finance. Basically, we do this or we get left behind. And fighting financial crime, long story of Bitcoin. Yeah, we got to do that. And exploring a digital dollar. Yeah, so this is going to be, don't you want to trade oil in our U.S. CBDC? Not your yuan, not your, ruble.
We should probably come back at some point and do a deep dive video on that, because there's a lot to dig into there. If you're reading between the lines, you can we don't have enough time to go all the way through it today. You can hear the agenda. There's clearly a green push throughout it. There's clearly a protect the dollar as reserve currency throughout it, kind of like you were saying. So when they're saying, protect people from risks, what they're really afraid of is losing reserve currency status. So how can we transition to digital currencies, digital CBDCs, and make this good for the dollar is really what they're focused
I'm thinking
on.
for a title, you have Biden's 7 blank to blank crypto, seven rules to pump crypto.
The 7 deadly sins of the new financial order.
Now is it positive or negative? I mean, we have to do a deeper dive. Because he's either destroying it or saving it, I mean, hey, we're just kind of giving you a little insight to the title game here. If it's positive, it's just got to be, a little bit, you got to like tweak the dial to 11. Same thing with negative. But we'll be careful. We'll put in a question mark.
To be fair, that's what it says. White House hates Bitcoin because they're not pro Bitcoin. They're very pro CBDC, pro US dollar digital currency. But we got to really regulate Bitcoin. We got to really regulate a lot of these DeFi assets. We got to really keep our eyes on these non-state federally regulated stable coins are a systemic risk to the financial order, in their opinion.
People keep talking about Superman's dog. So I did Dragon Con, and one of the people, we did some man on the street action, kind of lost a file. I did all this editing, and I don't know if I'll try to redo it, but asking people, is crypto a scam? Not really great answers. It'd be like, not, I'm saying negative or positive, it'd just be like one word, no, yes, a lot of those. But about 20% of the people say crypto's a dog.
Oh, they
And
think it does.
it took like the fifth person explained to me. So okay, a little inside. Now, where'd they come up with that name?
Yeah.
Is this like from the 50s comics, or is this like, like trying to get in with the new people? I don't know. All right. FSOC to report on regulatory gaps over digital assets next month. God, I'm trying to remember what that I know it. Let me look it up. All right. Financial Stability Oversight Council. I should have known that. They plan to identify regulatory gaps on digital assets and recommend ways to plug them next month as the final part of the long-awaited framework for digital asset policy, according to the senior administration officials. U.S. agencies will continue and expand their leadership roles on digital assets work at international organizations and standard-setting bodies, including G7 and Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Essentially, this is just saying we're going to make sure they keep trading oil with our dollar. That's all that is. And they say, or else we'll quit giving you money every year. All right, so bullish on this succeeding, I guess. I mean, they're putting their cards on the table. We're going to strong arm the countries into complying. So it looks like this is already kind of set and good to go. All right. I mean, any thoughts on that? I mean, they're not going to lose the digital dollar without a fight.
No, yeah. I mean, that's everything you're seeing coming out of the U.S. when it comes to digital currency, digital assets is all around protecting the dollar, holding control of the financial system, because we've had control of it for the last 100 years. Or, well, I mean, yeah. I mean, we've had control of it for a long time, and that's been our number one reason we're a superpower. So losing control of that is obviously terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's very loss of buy pressure on the dollar, and we need that. All right. Why SEC Chair Gary Gensler was grilled during Senate crypto inquiry. On Thursday, the SEC Chair spoke before the Senate Banking Committee to defend the agency's stance on crypto and its efforts to include climate risks in public company reports. I am just a million times against that there, because all the Republican leader on the SBC, Toomey, argued, this is him up here. You can see him looking quite disturbed and upset. Toomey argued that the commission wasn't performing its job properly because of the unique characteristics of digital currencies like Bitcoin. Senator also implied the commission has not been as forthright as it should be in its endeavors to enforce securities regulations that may apply to cryptocurrencies. The biggest problem, according to Toomey, is the SEC isn't sharing with us the structure they're utilizing. Preach it, brother, preach it. Gensler maintained throughout the inquiry that the Supreme Court has already decided what constitutes a security. Oh my God, he's bringing up the Howey test, and that most token pass a well-established multi-factor test. Yeah, because we should use 90-year-old questionnaires to determine if a crypto digital currency is security or not, right?
Sure.
Right?
Why not? Yeah. I mean, I'm sure things that were created to regulate wheat and fruit and orange groves make sense in a world of digital assets and computers. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes all the sense in the world.
Seems
all
legit.
Right. SEC's Gensler says proof of stake cryptocurrencies may be securities. He's seen here telling someone to stop performing CPR on a dying baby.
Whoa. Yeah.
What?
No. That's what he was saying. Whoa.
Yeah. Hey, stop. Slow down. No. Yeah. They need to go down. He said proof of stake cryptocurrencies could be considered securities, which would also include Ethereum network after it's completed its shift to proof of stake system on Thursday. Did he bring this up unprompted, or someone asked him? It was like he knew this would like get a bunch of headlines.
Yeah, they had this ready to go the day of the merge. It came out yesterday, so yeah, they were ready to go.
Sounds about right. He previously said he regards Bitcoin as a commodity, which functions under a proof of work protocol that would place it outside the jurisdiction of the SEC, but did not extend that definition to any other crypto. Tokens classified securities will fall under existing Capital Markets Act, while a new law will be written for the rest. McCormack said the U.S. is not alone in having a mess of overlapping regulators, and that this situation is no way confined to cryptocurrency. Yeah, it's almost like government's inefficient sometimes. I remember I was very much against God, I'm wading in political waters
Oh
here,
boy,
but
here we go.
there's a giant rollback of regulations.
Mhm.
Let's see, about 7 years ago, 6
Mhm.
years ago, I guess. Actually, more like 5. And I remember just thinking like how terrible it was. But then over those past 5 years, you just heard business leader after business leader after business leader say how it opened up this, opened up that, and then now new regulations coming in, and it's like, we were able to operate 3 years ago, but now we can, and it's because of X, Y, and Z. And it's a lot of times, regulations, they're good at the time they're created a lot of the time. I'm not saying every time, regulations made, but they're typically made for a reason at the time. And typically someone believes in their heart there's a reason it should exist. But I almost cussed there. When stuff's from 1933, you can let it go, okay? When there's things that are 80 years old, 90 years old, you said, no, we need to bring up the act from 1940. Maybe it's time to update your regulatory paperwork.
Well,
Maybe
what
it's time to update the guidelines.
what if they are 80 or 90 years old?
Oh my God. Did you see the graphic where it said percentage of Congress people above the age of 70?
Yeah, and it just shot through the roof. I guess they all had a birthday at the same time or
That's a
something.
good point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm so mad about this. We're using laws from 1940, and they're like, hey, I was like 8 years old.
They're like,
back
I
then.
wrote
Back
that
off."
law. I wrote that one.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
mine.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
good point there. Good
No,
point,
it
TJ.
when I look at a lot of this stuff, especially what's coming out of the SEC, it's all a power grab, a land grab. They're all trying to say we should regulate this. We should regulate. We have no idea how. We have no idea. We're not going to give you any rules, any clarity, but we should do it, and we just need to make sure we're the ones doing it, not those guys, not those guys. And that tends to be consistent throughout all of government. I feel like it's just a land grab. Everybody jumps on something to say, I was the one who came up with this. If something good happens, everybody kind of sees the future with digital assets, knows it's going to be a successful industry. So if they can be the one that says, I helped it happen, that's how politicians like to roll.
Gary Gensler, the sleepwalker. I say Gary Gensler, the white walker. He wants
Yeah,
to have
there
like
you
a
go.
never-ending winter, a never-ending crypto winter, where the sun never shows up again. That's what he wants.
Perfect.
All right, where's anyways? Ethereum is. I shouldn't say. I'm kidding. It's a fictionalized story here. Ethereum is now in control of only 2 entities. According to the staking rating of the network, only 2 entities control almost 50% of the whole network, which is an unhealthy redistribution of staking power. It's the 30 and the 14, 44. Then you bring in Kraken, which puts you above 51%. But, I'm not even going to go over this too much. I mean, me and TJ just kind of had a nice talk about it 10 minutes ago. I mean, the option to blow this up is you can't stake on Coinbase, you can't stake on Kraken, you can't stake on Lido, you can't really stake without 32. And yeah, there's some, well, you only need 16. Well, that's still like staking with a pool. I lean towards you should allow people to stake with Coinbase. I don't think you should say you can't. I don't think we should revoke Lido's right to have people stake with them. Am I glad that 3 entities control over 50%? No. But the other option is worse. And I think TJ, I think you agree. And, this is crypto. It's going to shake itself out. I do expect that to actually, I'm optimistic. I think it will be more fair distribution in the future.
I do
Maybe not
too.
everyone is as bullish as I am on that, but
No,
that's
I
what
agree with you. I don't think it'll be too long either. I think it'll be give it 6 months to a year, and another product like Lido or Lido will come up and, be a good thing. You see Anchored stake.
Techno Goody, what if they limit the amount of staking per entity? They just make more entities and it'll still be the same. It'll be a Hydra. It's like 8 different heads, the same body.
Right.
So that's what we'll see with that. But
yeah,
I
think it will balance out, like you're saying. And we did talk about it a decent amount. Seeing that half of them right there are exchanges, you got Coinbase, Kraken, Binance, Huobi, Bitstamp. Like, that's not a surprise. Some of those other ones now are competing they need to compete with Lido and get more of the stake. But obviously, Lido's made a good product. They've got a lot of good users and probably some big whales in there. And that's how this works a lot of times. It will balance over time.
Add Bartlett. Good use of emotes there. All right. Ergo and Ravencoin hash rates soar as Ethereum miners jump ship. We're kind of covering that hash rate on yesterday's ATB. If you didn't check that out, make sure you check it out. Mind Your Biz took his shirt off.
Oh, wow.
Unprompted.
Oh, gosh.
He did some push-ups.
Oh,
this is
gosh.
actually real. He jumped down. I didn't know what he was doing. So, he jumped back up. I called to him. I mean, BJ was there. We were just cracking up. We didn't know he was doing push-ups. So he's like out of breath. I would not have called to him next if I'd have known he was doing push-ups. Like, yeah, so with ETH staking, we got the
Wow.
merge, and it's funny. You're gonna have to watch it. But we cover the hash rates, and we talk about Ergo, we talk about Ravencoin, and he breaks down some really good stuff about Ravencoin. So make sure you watch last night's ATB if you haven't. And while you're browsing around this little YouTube app, hit the like button, folks. Go ahead, hit the like button. We get up another 1,000. We do another little hair reveal, maybe.
Uh-oh.
Is it his head or something? All right. Ergo and Ravencoin, they jumped those hash rates way up with the merge. Look at that chart, baby. With the merge on Ethereum now complete, miners are flocking to other networks to continue operations. Ravencoin and Ergo in particular are seeing large boosts in hash rate. I said 5x last night. It looks, yeah, it's about a 5x there. Yeah, so a 5x jump in hash rate. Ergo way up as well. That is closer to a 10x rate. If you go up from here, you can kind of see, I think this is about a week or two. They started jumping ship a little bit early, familiarize yourself with the ecosystem, but then you can see exactly where ETH said, yep, we turned it off. All right. The price of these tokens have been quite volatile. Raven is down 15% over the last 24 hours. It did experience a huge bump in price. I think it was up 80% on the week. So a 15% drawback, not too painful there. Similarly, ERG is down about 5% over the last day with its price also being volatile. Ravencoin, proof of work blockchain. I mind it. It's a good community. F2 Pool announced that it launched the ETHW mining pool with ETH hash rate being redirected towards this new pool. Poolin and Ampool also launched their own ETHW mining pools. Currently, F2 Pool, surprise, surprise, dominating it with 41% of the known hash rate. Wooly Pooly following up with 17 and two miners. All right, two miners, one wire, 13.3 there. However, ETHW token price, the toke price, that is what it costs for one hit, has dropped drastically after the hit. That brings us up to our meeting later. We're going to a rapper's studio later to work on some secret projects. We can't disclose any other information than that, but if my hoodie stinks when I get home, my girlfriend can't get too mad. Hey, I was at a rapper's house here. It was him. I was just in the room. It is now down by over 70% to a price of $13.11. So yeah, if you got out early, congrats. If you held on to it thinking it's going to go up, I'm not even going to recommend sell at those levels. I said this before, I'll say it again. It could have insane price action. I'm kind of considering like an ETH Classic. It's just going to do its own thing, and the whales are going to control it. So if you're in an F2 Pool secret chat, by all means trade it. But they're going to be dancing on your grave if you don't have really tight stop losses. Just again to harp on that, and if you're not really watching the charts regularly, so be very careful with that. All right. No. You chats are funny. Equals one bedroom and a closet for a vocal booth. No, this is a major guy. I can't even say anything about how major he is because it'll like give away hints. But TJ, is this a major name?
Yeah,
or is
yeah,
this
yeah.
like a
Definitely
SoundCloud rapper?
substantial in the music business, especially in Atlanta.
All right. We dropped a hint there. All right. We're not gonna say anything else. All right. After ETH's merge, Arthur Hayes says this is the only chart that matters. He's the former BitMEX CEO. Ethereum is expected to become deflationary following the merge upgrade, with its issuance ranging between negative 0.5% and negative 4.5%. Again, this is a topic we covered on yesterday's ATB. Make sure you watch it if you haven't here. Net ETH emissions kind of cover the triple halvening event. Mind Your Biz, his shirt did a triple halvening. The director of global macro at Fidelity Investments noted that ETH hadn't been rewarded with a high price to network ratio, unlike Bitcoin. However, this could change after the merge, with ETH becoming scarcer. As reported by you today, Hayes predicted that ETH price would be able to reclaim 3,500 level if merge ends up being a success. Yeah, that's not a big surprise. We all think it's going to reclaim 3,500. The question is when. So let us know. Let's do a little, let us know in the chat. What date? Or we could say over under 1 year.
Sure.
All right. Will ETH hit 3,500 within a year? Yay or nay? Is it going to be within the next 12 months? Is it going to be, let's see if we want to do about a year after the halving. It could be, let's just say early 24. So, or do you say like 25? I mean, if it doesn't happen in the next year, it's a good chance it will take 2-3 years, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll say it's not vanilla ice.
No, there's a lot. I told them they haven't named it yet. I don't think they'll get it, but I don't want to give too many hints.
we can't. We got to be careful with our hints here.
And we got to keep it moving.
Yeah. All right. Epic Games launches first NFT game. This is actually huge. Blanco's Block Party. I think they could have chosen a little bit better title. Epic Games has been one of the few major traditional game developers and publishers in the market to show a clear interest in NFTs. While the tier 1 gaming company hasn't been especially aggressive, Epic CEO Tim Sweeney has a notorious pro-dev stance and has expressed that NFTs can show great utility in gaming with enough time and development. Gaming studio Mythical Games first launched Blanco's Block Party roughly 2 years ago with an open beta, and Mythical has since claimed that over 1 million players have engaged with the title. Today, Epic Game Store added it to their offerings, making the title the first Web3 title to see Epic Games storefront. Hosting Blancos is certainly the biggest story of the year so far for Mythical, and arguably one of the biggest stories of the year for Web3 gaming. I would consider this one of the biggest games, or one of the biggest stories. I also the other side testnet going well. I think they had thousands of monkeys in their little other side thing. I think that just kind of showed the power of what Yugo's building. I think that's another good one. And really the main story, I guess it's over a year ago, but to me, nothing has really passed the Axie Infinity hack. That has been like the biggest gaming story. And I still think this has the crown for the biggest gaming story so far, recent history.
Yeah. And shout out Crypto Stash. He's on the channel all the time. Also another fellow YouTuber. I've heard him talk about Blancos for a long time. And when it comes to gaming, he's probably, if I had to guess, I'm sure he's played it a decent amount. I'm sure he's covered this on his channel. So
and if I had to guess, I think this news created positive price action for those assets.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah.
So, hey, if you're following Crypto Stash, one of our regulars on Around the Blockchain, you got that alpha, you're in ahead of people, and you're probably enjoying some nice, sweet profits. Please take profits when you see news like this.
Well, and this is just bullish. Again, anything in a bull market, this would make things go bananas. In a bear market, you're not going to see probably as much price action from it. But these are the types of developments that in a bear market, seeing a game store with as many players like Epic or Steam or things like it add Web3 style games, it's going to slowly happen more over time. And then when the next bull run hits, 24, 25, we're going to see explosive growth in that sector.
Yeah, for sure. Not 21 Savage, he's British, people.
Yeah.
All right, a Bored Ape Ethereum NFT owner is launching Real World Yacht Club. Not enough yachts in the Bored Ape Yacht Club. One NFT holder and a yacht owner plan to change all of that. They offer plenty of disinterested looking apes. I mean, we know what Bored Ape is. Now one holder wants to change the yacht club into a real yacht club. How can apes be bored partying on the super yacht? Comer is the founder and CEO of Millennium Capital, a French investment firm that launched a Bitcoin-themed ETF focused on crypto industry companies in 2021. He told Decrypt that he began investing in leading crypto much earlier in 2014. Thanks to Bitcoin, able to buy my first yacht. As an art collector, he gravitated towards NFTs and said he found affinity with Bored Ape Yacht Club, along with potential business opportunities. There's no official tie between the Bored Ape Yachts Club and Yuga Labs, and participants won't need to own a real Bored Ape to buy and use one of the NFT membership passes. The idea of a platform for yacht rentals predates his ape ownership. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, it would be cooler if Bored Apes got like a free airdrop, because then you'd get it, right? Ben has an ape.
We have an ape.
I mean, then, there'd be like a little hit yacht pass.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, pretty bullish. I think NFT memberships are going to be big. Soho, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Gun range, or it could be like little local businesses too. But we're just not there yet for mass adoption. But it is going to happen. It's slowly happening with these niche products, and then eventually, and now we got Starbucks, and Starbucks is kind of that first domino of like worldwide mass adoption here, I would say. The Starbucks story is a great example of bear market.
Yeah.
Very positive story.
Absolutely.
Crickets.
Right. Like in a bull market, if things were popping, you'd see Matic, having a huge pump on a story like that where almost nothing happened on it this time. But
wow, talk about split.
Yeah, exactly. 50-50 on the poll on within 3,500. I would have said no. I think it'll be just short because I see it happening more in 24, 25.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, same.
Good poll.
All right. Just real quick, look at this. There's a hover bike. We really need to see it in action to appreciate it here. It is muted. So yeah, this is they plan to launch this next year in the US.
Yes.
And
I've
it
heard-
made a debut at the Detroit Auto Show.
And I think right now it's some ridiculous price. If Johnny told me right, like 700K.
Yeah.
However, supposedly in 2025, just in time for the next, hopefully peak of the bull run, they've got one coming in at 40 or 50K. Maybe we can get one here for the office.
Basement Challenge 1 year would have hit 35. Yes, $777,000, but would like to get it down to 50,000 by 2025. So hey, maybe that next bull run. If that's 0.2 of a Bitcoin, you better buy one for the office, man.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. If it works out well, we should have a new toy in 2025.
I still haven't been in the Lambo. Haven't been in
really?
the Demon.
Well,
Haven't,
get in there, man.
So many things I need to do here.
Tell me
I
what you
haven't
want.
taken advantage of like all the cool stuff. I
Yeah.
played one pinball machine. I haven't even sat on a beanbag chair. All
Wow.
right, quick XRP time, baby. Hit that like button if you like XRP. XRP Ledger back on track to launch NFTs. Oh my God. Okay. All right. XLS 20 proposal fixed, open for community review. We are waiting for this, like in-house. We want to do some stuff on XRP. We need this to pass first. Author of the XLS 20 amendment proposal revealed that a new version of the proposal incorporating a fix to the bug identified on Monday currently open for community review. As previously highlighted, the fix was pretty simple, just requiring a correction to a single line of code. When asked about a timeline, he noted it depends on how quickly operators update. While admitting there is some upgrade fatigue, developer expressed hope for a quick adoption of the new release. The previous ones took weeks. So, I'm not saying it's going to be weeks, but the previous one took weeks. He expects full implementation to proceed in a month in the best case and 2.5 in the worst, as it takes time for operators to test. Oh, yeah, so they got to update, then they have to test, then they have to update again. And then, so yeah, with all of that, it's going to take a good bit. But this is what's going to allow NFTs to trade on XRP with royalties set. Currently, you can't have royalties, and you can't really operate a business without cash flow. And what's an NFT if not kind of a business in a lot of cases? Sometimes it's just art, but a lot of times it is a business. So you got to be able to derive some sort of revenue. And so this upgrade allows that revenue. One quick XRP before we'll just go into the Q&A here. XRP traders can bank on this long-term bear structure and buy the dip. Analysis of the higher time frame revealed that not a lot was different. The momentum still neutral, limp bearish, while neither the buyers nor the sellers were dominant. But you see this price, and I mean, yeah, sure, it dipped below that line a little bit. I mean, you can see the candle supporting very well there. You see the wick just bouncing off it strong. So you're not getting in at that cheap line, but if it doesn't hit that line, I mean, this is where you're going to wish you bought. So the zone of demand to watch out for, horizontal support level, 31 cents. And that has been significant since 2018. Similarly, 42 cents as resistance is also has support all the way back to 2018. So strong levels for that coin. And the daily RSI oscillated from 60 to 45. The higher the number, the more overbought. So going down is good. On the whole, both price action indicators highlight that it's indecisive, more likely to post some losses over the next or two than gains. But this range can be used to look for lower time frame buying opportunities. So you see it near those strong 2018 levels. If you believe in the coin and you think they have a good chance of winning, I don't have any problem you buying in at those levels. You say all you want about XRP, but I think that what they're doing against the SEC is huge, and I like supporting them anyway when it comes to that. All right. Any Q&A here? I mean, quick hits, nothing too crazy.
Nothing too crazy. All right. Yeah, I got some good Q&A for you. It's from Jimmy Void, Sit Down Talking Truth, one big fan of the channel, big fan of a lot of the things we do here. He was asking, do you think XRP utility will drive the new all-time high as opposed to market cap supply valuation?
No. Bitcoin price is going to move it.
I would agree. I don't think utility is going to. I mean, utility is nice to talk about and good to create speculation, but I think it's going to be mostly speculation in the next cycle as well.
And example, look, what did Starbucks do for Matic?
Right.
Price action, nothing. And it being an older coin, it's going to more closely correlate with Satoshis versus a near FTT.
Matt S., when will Ben be back in action?
Monday.
Monday
like I said at the beginning, he will be back next episode. Don't you worry, BitSquad.
Also, Matt S., man, you got two in here. I didn't realize. Can we expect both an ISO 222 and 1510K portfolio updates today? Yes, AJ was working on that right before we walked in there. That update will be coming out tonight on the 9 o'clock, I think, tonight's video. And then last question, what do you guys think of rendering tokens making use of graphics card for metaverse projects?
We talked about this, I think, last week in a chat. One of the community members, I think they summed it up well. We do have a great community. They said, I can't afford, I think they said I can't afford a $1,600 graphics card, so I love this.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the audience, and I'm bullish for it.
Yeah.
Most of the world can't afford, 3080s and stuff.
Well, and metaverse, VR, AR kind of implementations, products, games, all that kind of stuff needs massive amounts of computing power, rendering power, that sort of stuff to make for a good experience. So I think it requires blockchain shared computing power and rendering power in order for those industries to get where they're going too. So
Yeah, sitting here with my lowly 3070. 3070 is good too. 3060. I do want to share this. Explosive guest on ATB tonight. You know who, right? Did you get told?
I do.
Hey, so what are your thoughts? Explosive.
Don't miss.
Don't miss. ATB, do not miss it tonight. It's going to be a show for the ages. All right, that is all we got time for today, BitSquad. Until next time, easy out. Be easy.